We want to show you what's going on right now. Take a look at all the smoke that's engulfed the Dunes Boardwalk Cafe, a building that locals say is an iconic staple to this Jersey Shore community. We're now learning that 2 men from Newark were shot here outside the Akbar restaurant. One is dead while another is in serious condition. As you can see behind me, these soldiers are now taking off for a 3-day flight to Texas. The snow has certainly piled up here in North Jersey, but the good news is that roads are now clear, making it a lot safer for drivers. But drivers in New Jersey could be in store for another gas tax increase this fall, unless there is a dramatic bump in gasoline sales in the coming months. Officials estimate that approximately 1 million pounds of illegal product was contained in these shipments, and it will be incinerated as a result. We're situated just off the highway, and despite it being hours after the crash, the scene is still active as authorities try to figure out what caused this accident.
Files 1's Stephen Milewski is in Ocean Grove with the very latest. Stephen?
Thanks, Lisa. We want to show you what's going on right now. Take a look at all the smoke that's engulfed the Dunes Boardwalk Cafe, a building that locals say is an iconic staple to this Jersey Shore community.
I don't know how old this building is, but it's rather iconic for the north end of Asbury Park. It's been there a long time, so it's just a really sad day that it's burnt down.
Crews continue to struggle knocking down the fire here at the Dunes Boardwalk Cafe. The fire started around 11:30 this morning underneath the cafe, but has persisted all afternoon with strong winds coming off the ocean. Residents tell us the fire didn't seem too bad when it initially broke out.
It didn't seem terrible at the time. They seemed to have water on it, but they never quite got behind it, I guess.
But the fire has proved too much to handle for first responders up to this point. The fire jumped up to 5 alarms, and just after 2 o'clock, the roof of the building collapsed. Neighbors this afternoon telling us it took several years for the building to be renovated after Hurricane Sandy.
It's really sad because this building, it took them, I'm guessing, about 3 years after Sandy to renovate it, and they put some shops back in this beautiful Dunes Cafe. And now it's all trashed.
And a place that many had looked forward to returning to this summer.
It's actually really sad because Dunes is a very vibrant place in the summer with several different restaurants, and it was alive and thriving last summer, and clearly that won't be able to happen this summer.
We're back here just a few hundred feet away from the fire. The building owners are on scene, but they declined to comment at this time. As far as we know, the cause of the fire is still under investigation. We're here in Ocean Grove. Stephen Milewski, Fios 1 News.
Fios 1 Stephen Milewski is on the scene.
We're now learning those 2 people inside the vehicle who died were teenagers. Newark Mayor Ross Baraka saying this morning that the vehicle was stolen and a gun was found inside. Authorities believe the vehicle was stolen from Elizabeth and then got into an accident after driving at a dangerous, uncontrollable speed.
They were traveling at very, very high speed, lost control of the car. Car clipped a traffic light and then into a house here, overturned. 2 gentlemen in the car, they died instantly.
The accident happened around 5:30 this morning on the corner of Madison Avenue and Bergen Street. Authorities tell us there was no police pursuit. One man we spoke to who lives in the damaged building told us what he heard when it happened.
As I was getting up, I heard a loud crash at first. It was a crackle sound, and then I heard a boom and the house shook.
Newark Police and the Essex County Prosecutor's Office have been at the site of the accident all morning. Officials say the engineering department is on scene examining the building and trying to determine whether or not it is uninhabitable. If so, the city will take measures to bring the building down. Tenants tell us they haven't been allowed to go back inside and don't know where to go next.
We don't know where we're going to stay. We stay here, so of course we don't have anywhere else to go. So basically now we're all homeless.
Mayor Baraka describes the incident as an overall tragedy.
No matter if the car was stolen or not, these people lost their lives, they're teenagers. It's a tragic situation.
Mayor Baraka says the investigation is ongoing by the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. In Newark, Stephen Milewski, Fios 1 News.
Fios 1 Stephen Milewski reports from Allendale.
All of a sudden you wake up and there's like about 3 or 4 inches of snow, and you're out there shoveling, and it's kind of a nightmare.
Locals tell us the snow this morning was unexpected, but thankfully not worse than it was.
The snow today has been better than others because it's not that icy snow that you get, so it's easier to shovel, easier to get out. The plows go through it right away, whereas in the past where ice is up, and that's just that's just a nightmare happening.
A plow truck driver we spoke to agrees, telling us how this storm compared to previous ones this season.
When it gets wet, I mean, it's just heavier. It takes a toll on the equipment. It takes a toll on us. You know, it's a little harder to move. But this was pretty. It was pretty light, but as soon as it starts to warm up, it does start to break down a little bit. And as soon as you put a shovel in, you can feel the weight behind it. But you know, we only had about 3 inches, so you know, we lucked out.
And while the conditions are much better this afternoon, plow drivers are expecting a quick turnaround.
Shaping up, but we got another front coming in tomorrow, so we'll be out in it, doing it all over again and getting you guys ready for Monday.
The snow has certainly piled up here in North Jersey, but the good news is that roads are now clear, making it a lot safer for drivers. In Allendale, Stephen Milewski, FiOS 1 News.
FiOS 1 Stephen Milewski has his story.
Before Henry Snyder High School student Dylan Chittick committed to his dream school, he and his family struggled for several months living in a shelter. Chittick's family was homeless after his mother suffered an illness, while his 2 brothers battled heart conditions. Chittick described to us the difficulties he faced trying to maintain good grades during an increasingly tough time.
Being an honors and AP student, we're used to doing homework up to 2 o'clock in the morning, and when you have to be in bed by 10, it's like, how am I supposed to get all my work done and balance everything? And I also had a lot of clubs and activities like Honor Society and Student Council, so I wasn't able to fulfill my duties as a student. I was always worried about what I'm going to do in the shelter.
But the family's perseverance would pay off. Chittick and his family were helped by Village of Families to acquire housing in downtown Jersey City, where he finished his college applications. Soon after, more than a dozen letters came pouring in, all granting Dylan acceptance.
There was this one point in time where they came like every Saturday, so my mom would just stand by the mailbox and be happy for me. She was more excited than me, so it was really good. It made me feel good inside. I felt accomplished.
Snyder High School principal Yvonne Waller says Chittick's journey serves as an inspiration to other students.
I think he gives them hope. I think he gives them inspiration. I think he gives them that extra nudge that if Dylan can do it, I can do it too.
Chittick himself says he's excited to be a role model to others and tells us his best advice.
Keep pushing and never give up, because even though you're in this situation right now, if you find out one person or your group of friends that will help you through this obstacle, you'll see better things in the future.
The best acceptance letter was saved for last. Chittick was surprised at school this week with a visit from officials representing the College of New Jersey, who offered him a full-ride scholarship. Chittick says he'll start classes there in July. In Jersey City, Stephen Milewski, FiOS 1 News.